Welcome back. You may not know the name Corky Lee, but for 50 years, he documented the experiences of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in New York City. Lee died in 2021, but this weekend, just days after his birthday, a film called Photographic Justice, the Corky Lee story, will be screened here in New York.
Those screenings will take place at DCTV Firehouse Cinema, including a session this afternoon with our own Cindy Hsu. And joining us now is the director, Jennifer Takaki. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
So Corky Lee was a Chinese American born and raised in Queens. And it's interesting because in junior high school, he saw this photo that was commemorating the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869. But he noticed something about that photo, and that really changed the trajectory of his life. What did he notice?
He noticed that there were no particularly Chinese Americans in the photo when thousands of Chinese Americans had died building the railroad. So I think in the back of his head, he always meant to do something. And, you know, fast forward into early 1970s, he really began his trajectory.
Because he talked about that in the film. He basically describes that as being sort of this impetus for him to create a more accurate historical record of the role of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in history, in American history.
Yeah, I think one of the most incredible parts, or one of the most incredible things that Corky did was he was very Pan-Asian. He himself was a second-generation Chinese American, but he actually documented all the, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Filipinos, Southeast Asian, South Asian, everyone.
Diverse
and
group,
so I think that back in the 70s was very unique in itself, but he also did it because he wanted to make sure that none of the stories, the histories, the celebrations ever got, ignored from history again, to make sure that he would show up and be there to document it.
And I do want to play a clip from the film because, Lee's work did appear in major publications, New York Times, New York Post. It was a challenge to get that done. And he once covered a protest against police brutality in Chinatown. Your film shows what happened to his pictures from that day. Let's take a look.
He called the New York Times, and they said they had their photographer there, but they didn't know of any outbreak of violence. I called the Daily News. They didn't want to see the photograph. And then the New York Post said they had their photographer there. I said, well, my photographs show that somebody got beaten up, and the police are taking him away. And then there was a little bit of a silence on the other end of the phone. And then they came back to me and said, okay, kid, bring it in. And I made the front page.
Wow, so that's from 1975. Was it any easier for him to get published, to get front pages after that date in the years that followed?
I think if you had asked him, he would say no. He did manage to get into the New York Times at different times. In fact, it was an article in 2003 that I saw, this giant article about him that kind of sat in the back of my mind. I actually didn't read it. I didn't know who he was, and I had randomly met him. But I think it was always a struggle. I don't think it got easier. I think he always had to make friends with the editors. He always had to go, and he had to push for certain stories. So I do think that, I think people knew who he was, but it didn't necessarily always make it easier.
Why did you want to make this film, Jennifer, about him? Because he is a name that some here in the city do know, but a lot of people outside the city don't necessarily know Corky Lee, but they may have seen a picture or two of his. Why was it so important for you to do this?
I think Corky is one of the best kept secrets, that he flies under the radar, and I think even after everything that we've done, our film has been on PBS. We've done, nationwide screenings. We've done one in London. And I still feel that a lot of people don't know who he is, and he's such an important figure in American history. I am very excited that he continues to make waves, and his legacy is getting bigger and bigger. So I did the film initially because I always felt he was under the radar. I felt that this was a very important man who had a very important story, and it needed to be told.
I'm guessing, given that you're documenting a trailblazer in his field, that in your discussions about the film with people, you've learned stories about people who idolized this man, and you've realized sort of what he left behind in terms of the legacy from firsthand stories and accounts.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was really heartbreaking. I think Corky was so visible, he was invisible. And one of our interviewees, Joanne Lee, had said that, and it's so true. I think he was so underappreciated alive. I think he was so beloved, and so many people loved him, but at the same time, he was ever present. And so you kind of just took for granted, oh, Corky will be there. Corky will be at the next event. I'll see him then. But when he passed away, I think that's when these amazing stories of how much he meant to so many came out. And that was really hard, because at that point, it was too late. He was gone. And so many people had these incredible stories about who he was and what he meant to them.
Now people have an opportunity to learn who he was if they didn't know him. The film is Photographic Justice, the Corky Lee story, screened here in New York this weekend. Jennifer Takaki, thank you so much.
Thanks for
Thank you both for having me.